it's really a behavior that is completely unacceptable, especially where councillors were assaulted and officials prevented from doing their work. We just went through a vigorous election in the last month, and obviously one wanted to see a change, and one wanted to see adults, in fact, getting to a sitting and taking decisions on behalf of the citizens instead of wasting the whole day ratepayers' money in a meeting that really should not have turned out to what it was.
Right. You know, the point of contention, Vasco, was, of course, how the voting process would actually be conducted, either by a way of raising hands or by secret ballot, as advocated for by the ANC and EFF, something, or at least a position that the DA was not willing to sort of pivot on. Talk to us about why oppose this way of conducting the voting process by way of secret ballot.
I don't think it is the DA, for that matter. I think the coalition, it's a coalition and not necessarily one political party that takes this type of decisions. And the DA, in fact, did not take this decision. It's the Speaker's prerogative, first of all, to make that decision. But remember that we've got case history. We've got 20 years of uninterrupted chairpersons that were elected every 5 years, and if a chairperson passes away or there's a change of government, this same process that we were supposed to have gone through on Thursday happened. Why all of a sudden do you want to change a rule that has been there and that has been implemented for the past 20 years, change that just to disrupt the proceedings in council?
So that's the position that you've taken, that the sole reason why there was this sudden call for a change of how processes should, be carried out was for the purpose of disrupting council.
Correct. Absolutely right. I mean, there's no other reason why you would go to that extreme to, in fact, prevent officials from taking their responsibility. We were already on the count. Officials started counting, and they were manhandled from ensuring that that procedure continues.
Well, Vasco, now that the meeting was, of course, convened for the purposes of electing chairs of chairs, we now know that that meeting has been postponed to next Tuesday. What does that mean for the business of council from yesterday until Tuesday?
You see, the Section 79s are bodies that, does oversight over different entities within the city. In the sense, let me just give you one example. Like, for instance, infrastructure has got 3 entities under it, including environment, which is Pick It Up, City Power, and obviously Johannesburg Water. So councillors normally gets reports from these entities and goes through the reports, scrutinizes them, pick up any abnormalities, first of all, and secondly, make suggestions as to how service delivery throughout the city should happen. But those reports are then taken to council, where councillors in the council meeting decides whether to approve those quarterly reports or a report on a specific subject. So that work has been delayed in the sense that another, 4 days has been wasted to start doing our oversight work, but also compiling the Section 79 committees. They don't just exist of chairpersons, but also normal councillors that comes from different political parties, appointed based on the percentage of vote that they've received in the last election.
Now, I mean, talking about the business of council, the business of, the city's MMCs, a concern that was raised at the onset of the multi-party coalitions that we see presently in a number of metros is around when it came down to the rubber hitting the road and work actually having to be done by these councils, that a lot of the political differences, political ideologies would come into play. Are the events that we saw unfolding on Thursday proof enough that, in fact, multi-party coalitions don't work, that we have not yet attained a political maturity that can carry out such an agreement?
I don't think that it's the multi-party coalitions that is the problem. It is councillors that have got ulterior motives other than servicing the people of the city, or the country for that matter, that really disrupts the work of council. There is no problem with the current coalition. I think that unfortunately politics always comes to play within a public gallery, and behind the scenes, believe me, councillors work together, does oversight together and stuff like that. Why this happens is really strange to me, because we've seen this country going down for the past 20 years. And you can see with the parastatals throughout this country, including entities that does not do what they're supposed to do, rather get involved in funny and stuff that really we should not see in the public domain.
Right. Vasco, very quickly before we let you go, we know that the meeting has been postponed to Tuesday. How differently will that sitting be conducted to what we saw happening on Thursday?
I think if councillors just conduct themselves in an orderly way, allow the business of the day to continue as normal, elect the people that they want to. I mean, there is 2 people per portfolio that has been nominated from both sides. It doesn't matter which side it is. There's 2 candidates. Put up your hand when you agree with the candidate that is supposed to be voted for, and that you believe is going to do the best work or chair that particular portfolio the best. And that's it. There's 17 portfolios. It's going to be a long day, but I really urge all councillors to ensure that we abide by the rules and make sure that we get through the day with some relevance, a good story to tell to the residents out there, that the 17 committees have been established and we are going to do our work, because that's the reason why residents out there have elected us. Let's do our work and stop playing games that really don't benefit anybody.
Thank you very much. That was Joburg Council Speaker Vasco da Gama joining us there to talk about the scenes of chaos that unfolded at that first sitting of the Johannesburg City Council. Meanwhile,